everyone. Are you wondering what you'll need to prioritise with your NGO in the next year? Perhaps you're concerned with the world's volatility and you'd like to know what the most important considerations for your charity are over the next 12 months. Let's find out how you can prepare for the coming year with precision and robust decision making. Hello everyone, I'm Louise from the Social Strategy Cafe and it's lovely to have you here. This channel provides tools and tips for strategically developing your non-profit. So it doesn't matter whether you run a charity, whether you run an NGO or you run a social enterprise. So the world is entering a period of economic volatility and there will be plenty of challenges for non-profits in the forthcoming months. But what are the main areas that you should prioritise? Grab yourself a cuppa and let's take a look. And I really try to make my videos positive, but this one, I have to admit, has been a bit of a challenge because it's tough out there and I can't promise it's going to get easier, particularly for Global South NGOs, which I will talk about in a moment. And all we can do is try to mitigate all the issues ahead through strategic thinking, innovation, collaboration and risk management. So anyway, for charities and NGOs in general, these are the things I anticipate you will need to prioritise in the coming year. Firstly, your financial resilience. Strengthening your financial resilience is vital as it will allow you to weather any storms that come your way. So make sure you have strong financial management. You align your spending with your mission outcomes and ensure that the funding you receive all directly impacts your target communities. Funding uncertainty is likely to continue to plague the non-profit world, so you will need to be intentional with your resource allocation. Technology adoption is also essential. It is no longer optional for non-profits. NGOs have generally been way behind the private sector in digital transformation, such as using AI tools, automation and data analytics. But these tools and the ability of staff to have the skills to make best use of them will be critical for streamlining your operations, donor engagement and programme delivery. So embrace these digital tools and find ways that you can adopt these technologies, perhaps through partnering with tech companies that align with your values. Or you could collaborate with other local organisations to share the cost of the technology. Supporters will increasingly demand ways that they can see the impact that you are having, so invest in financial systems that can track impact alongside spending. And think about how you can easily communicate the impact of their donations. Fundraising innovation is also critical. Spend time on diversifying your fundraising streams. Find new revenue models. Consider what resources you have available that you could make use of. Develop strong partnerships with statutory, private and/or the non-profit sector. And develop donor-centric approaches to your fundraising, which consider them as valued partners in your charity's success. Build strong and committed relationships that continue into the longer term through really getting to know your partners and donors so that you can really meet each other's needs. Make sure that you have robust governance and accountability. NGO boards and leaders are likely to face scrutiny from funders and regulators as compliance requirements get tighter. So try and recruit expertise into your organisation that can support you in compliance, fraud prevention and transparency. If you can't find all of this expertise locally, try to find it remotely, perhaps even through diaspora organisations. Keep up to speed of what's happening in your external operating environment so that you're able to adapt to external forces and respond to new trends. Shifts in the political, economic and cultural environment are likely to reshape the sector, so these shifts will require agility and scenario planning. Try to make your risk management strategies really robust. Plan for eventualities such as rising costs, cash flow disruptions and fraud through building safeguards and contingency plans. If you have an NGO in the Global South, then you may find that the issues you will face in the forthcoming year will be related to the interconnected global crises and changing aid dynamics. So what will you have to be prepared for in the next 12 months? Well, we all know about the threats of climate change and environmental risks. So as this intensifies, this is likely to bring increased severity and frequency to climate-related disasters such as extreme weather events, droughts and floods. Humanitarian need will expand in some areas and many communities will be displaced. Try to prepare for this by integrating disaster risk reduction and ecosystem adaptation into your programs. Armed conflict and political instability will continue to generate large numbers of refugees and internally displaced persons, and this will require an increased level of humanitarian and peace-building efforts. Across the world, countries will continue to experience widening inequality in areas such as health and education and rising poverty, which are exacerbated by the global economic system and the increased cost of living. Health threats are a risk, such as antimicrobial resistance or public health emergencies, so organisations need to be prepared to manage robust, community-led health interventions. And donor priorities are shifting, which means that being reliant on traditional, often short-term, donor funding remains a significant vulnerability. Global economic uncertainty and a focus on new geopolitical priorities will probably lead to underfunding in core development areas. There is also a major shift towards donor-advised funds, which hold large assets but may not be immediately available, creating uncertainty for NGOs. Within the new localisation agenda, there is a real movement towards shifting resources and decision-making to local actors. However, this is not yet widely embraced, so there will continue to be difficulties receiving flexible, direct and sustainable funding. There will continue to be governmental and political pressures which NGOs will have to operate under. So NGOs may face regulatory hurdles, reduced civic space and polarisation, which can threaten their operations, their mission, their integrity and their staff safety. And as a Global South NGO, you may also face talent and capacity constraints due to struggles hiring and retaining skilled staff in the area in which you operate. So it is going to be really challenging, but there are ways to navigate some of these issues. Localise and own the narrative. Advocate for direct and flexible funding. Actively engage with donor platforms and INGO partners to secure direct funding that is unrestricted or minimally earmarked, allowing for greater flexibility and quicker crisis response. Strengthen South-South cooperation. Share knowledge, resources and technical expertise with peer or organisations in the Global South. This strategic alignment offers a model for collective action rooted in shared experience. Become the primary knowledge broker. Use your local knowledge and research to inform national and global policy debates. Position your NGO as the source of context-specific data and solutions which will help you to enhance your legitimacy and your influence. Diversify and innovate to obtain your resources. Look for earned income and enterprise opportunities, and I've highlighted many of these on my channel. Explore revenue diversification beyond grants, such as fee-for-service revenue, perhaps training or consultancy. And create a sustainable, unrestricted funding stream. Harness digital and local fundraising. Build a unified digital platform to engage individual donors. Leverage crowdfunding and actively engage with local diaspora communities and the growing pool of donor-advised fund holders. Embrace digital and organisational transformation. Adopt digital and AI tools. Use AI digital tools to automate administrative tasks, improve your operational efficiency and data analysis for impact reporting, and personalise marketing and fundraising efforts in order to strengthen relationships with your donors and supporters. Invest in future-proofing governance, so strengthen your cybersecurity, your data privacy and accountability systems to build trust with donors and beneficiaries. Build resilience and become agile. Try to adopt foresight-driven approaches in planning. And if you're not sure how to do this, take a look at my video on how to undertake a pestle analysis as a start. Train staff on scenarios planning and risk management, particularly for climate and conflict shocks, to ensure your organisation can adapt quickly without being solely reactive. So it is going to be difficult, but there are ways that you can prepare yourself, your teams and your organisation for what lies ahead. Stay strong, reach out to existing and new networks and build your resources and support. It's going to be tough, but there are lots of resources that you can call upon to support you. Thank you to everyone for watching. I wish you all the best for the challenges to come. And if you have an idea for a video you'd like to see, please let me know in the comments below. Have a great week, everyone.